Summer. When school's out, so you go vacationing, do more school like a loser, play video games, and finally, maybe watch some anime. No, seriously, that's it. You thought there were more things to do? First time here? Because that's really it. But let's get back on topic. Holy shit, this season was hella stacked. There was no shortage of good anime airing this summer. Whatever flavor you wanted, you could find. From teen romance to fantasy to psychological to just good old badass. With some of the stuff this season, you wouldn't even want to go outside unless you want to risk weird looks. Of which I may have gotten for watching an episode of my dress up dolly on the bus one time. Anyways, if I missed a big show that's not here, I just wasn't feeling like watching it at the moment. Regardless, holy shit, this season was sequel central. Speaking of my dress up dolly, it finally got a second season, and the best girl is back. My god, the quality on this show is fucking amazing. The interactions between these characters are too fucking good, man. Call it Goonerbait or whatever you want, but only after watching it for yourself. Because this shit deserves to be seen. I don't know about you guys, but this Gojo is my goat. Also, Akira is every viewer internally.
If we had to take a photo together, I'd bawl my eyes out and die right there. You guys don't want to see me break down like this again, do you?
Don't even lie, she's a vibe and a half, and I love her for it. A couple of Cuckoos got a new season, and it's the same cliche trash as before, with another Osana Najimi involved. That aside, it still manages to deliver on the absurdity and the comedy of the situation, with plenty more doubts about who Nagi's really in love with. At the end of it all, it does boil down to a harem, and that's made even more apparent in season 2. Ai doesn't really add much to the harem factor itself, but holy shit, she is the embodiment of chaotic neutral. Even knowing that, god damn it, some of the stuff that happens in here is so batshit insane that it's just fun to watch.
Okay, here's what we're gonna do.
Huh? I was late to this one. The best way I can describe this series is that it's just absolutely nonsensical in the best way possible. It was some of the most fun I've had watching any anime ever. Of course, there's the plot of Sakamoto leaving his hitman days long behind him, but to complement that, we got some of the most comical fights anime has ever seen. Almost as wacky as Girl in Lagann with how they were throwing galaxies at each other. Damn near. See You Tomorrow at the Food Court is an anime that's just about the vibes, man. There's not much else to it, other than two high school friends just hanging out at a food court during their downtime, talking about their day-to-day experiences, concerns, or gacha addictions. Fuck, I get that one. I mean, what? Who said that? That's exactly what it's great at, though. Wada and Yamamoto just have conversations that are actually grounded and relatable. They might not be the most interesting topics in the world, but it shows how their dynamic works, and even more so for a viewer, just fun to listen to. I nearly screamed in agreement when Wada was down bad for a character in her gacha game, or every time Yamamoto had to reel Wada back into reality. The banter they bring to that table is actually unparalleled, and at the end of it all, it's just another day, another...
また明日
You talk about the shows from this season, and Taco P's original sin has to be in the conversation. What came out as a 6-episode short series turned out to be an emotional, gut-wrenching experience that you didn't think you could get in that short of a time. I'm not kidding here. Taco P's original sin revolves around this happy and alien nicknamed Taco P, whose sole purpose is to make people happy. After some inexplicable reason, Taco P crash-landed onto Earth and can't find their way back. There they meet Kuze Shizuka, who's seen better days and gets right to trying to cheer her up, but they don't understand why nothing they're trying is actually making her happy. happy, despite hanging out with her and giving her all of their gadgets that they thought would work. Takopi struggles to realize the gravity of Shizuka's circumstances and innocently tries to help her be happy. But as events go on, that desire to make her happy only grows. God, I don't want to reveal too much here because it really is something you have to experience for yourself. This probably all sounds like some sort of trauma bait, but the events that come up are all rooted in reality. From being bullied at school, being compared to an older sibling, or feeling helpless because you can't change anything outside your control. Takopi's original sin treads through all of those in such a human way that it makes it hit so goddamn hard. Go watch it! It's only 6 episodes. It's not anything hype, but fuck, the stories it tells will stick with you. Now, I don't even know how I got into the show, but I just saw it was airing and it looked interesting enough to try. The summer Hikaru died had something to it. Not the traditional jump scare thing that a lot of Western movies have, since this monster wanted to integrate. 6 months have passed since Indo Hikaru went missing in the nearby mountains, and came back a week later with no recollection of what happened up there. Finally sure that he's not the same best friend as he was, Tsujinaka Yoshiki confronts him about it. Hikaru reveals that he's some monstrous entity that killed the actual Hikaru and took his form and memories. Yoshiki, having some massive lingering sentiments, is fine with this Hikaru, so long as he never leaves again. As time goes on though, it becomes clear that him staying there is only bringing more danger to the town. So, after watching it, this one is weird for me. To me, horror is not something that anime is usually good at conveying. At least not out of the series that I've watched. I mean, if you've got any suggestions, I wouldn't be against checking them out, but out of what I've seen, not the greatest. There's this messy relationship dynamic between Yoshiki and Hikaru that really makes them seem close, but at the same time, they're also trying to keep some sort of distance because of that disconnect between them. That is the main focus, or at least that's what it feels like. But at the same time, it also feels like they're trying to make you focus on what the monster actually is, or why it doesn't have any recollection before taking over Hikaru's form. The pure chaos of their situation actually kept me interested. How Hikaru becomes more and more human with his interactions, yet still reverts back to his old impulses, or draws in other dangerous entities. The possible threat of being exorcised or driven off by some third party. Yoshiki not wanting to lose his only friend again. I mean, it'd be pretty easy to tell the guy to just leave and that would solve everything, but they're Tomodachi! I'm not gonna lie, nothing really drew me in about this one. I originally only watched it because I wanted more stuff to watch. Like, fuck, sue me. But after that half a movie long first episode, it got me. No, it's not Isekai Slop, or another painfully average fantasy anime. 5 humanoid races are stuck in a world surrounded by 4 armies of dark beasts, with the legend that says there will be one hero that rises above all the rest to defeat the lords of those dark beasts. 13 heroes are sent out to the south to defeat Clevitus, one of the lords of the dark beasts. They got their asses utterly handed to them, and it wasn't even close. Clevitus, seeing no more reason to keep humanity alive, decides to wipe out the capital city of a kingdom, until he finds a baby that interests him, who also happens to be the next in line to be king. One of the 13 heroes, Alicia, is revived to help raise the child, due to some poor misunderstanding.
You yield no milk.
I'm a virgin! Of course there's no milk!
And becomes the last stopbreak between humanity's survival and extinction. I'm watering it down a little bit, but that's the basic gist of it. Alicia is dancing on the border with how easily humanity can just end because of some demon lord's whim. This shit is walking on eggshells taken to the extreme. Like watching a horror movie, but you don't know when the jump scare is coming, or if it even is at all. That's just it. The suspense is what makes this series so compelling to continue watching, and honestly, pretty good for the fantasy genre too. Gachi Akuta is this season's new shonen hit. Well, probably. Set in a city that's split between wealthy and poor, the rich don't value what they have and just toss it into the pit. Rudo, a resident of the less fortunate side, finds the so-called trash that the wealthy side throws out and tries to salvage what he can from it. After he was accused of murdering his adopted father, Rudo was thrown into the pit as punishment, and he makes it his goal to find the people that killed his dad and try to get out of there. Now, where's the shonen factor?
Unbreaker, Octashredder.
I found your sweet spot!
And there you go. This series excels with the idea of found family and how even the most seemingly worthless things have a lot of value, just so long as you can take care of them. Or something like that. Now hold on, you might want to tell me that this one is pretty mid. To that I say, well yeah. What happens when a goody two-shoes grade A student Yutani Yu gets a hit from her senpai, Mizutori Yatori? She turns into a delinquent. Or at least tries to, but fails horrendously. Look at her! Does this look like the face of someone who's about to kick your shit in? Of course not! This series is so reminiscent of the early 2010s nature in anime with how comical these episodic scenarios are. It's not much more than that, but it is ridiculously fun to watch Yu just sing all of her senpai's praises to the fucking moon. A year ago, we had the most goated season for Little Sisters, and with Watori's is about to collapse, we are so back. Or that's what I thought for a bit. What the fuck is this opening? What we have here instead is the classic love triangle between New Girl and Osana Najimi. Damn, I just realized this may as well be an Osana Najimi season. Fuck. Watori, Naoto, and his little sister had been tossed around like a salad after their parents passed, with no one willing to take them in for all that long, until they got around to their aunt. See, there's this one girl who wants to date him, but he really needs to make sure that his sister is okay. He's thinking about getting a part-time job, but he's not sure about leaving his sister alone. You know, with their aunt that lets him stay there. Bottom line, Naoto really cares about his sister. Until his childhood friend comes storming back into his life after 6 years have gone by. And well, high school romance, golden time type of shit happens. Doesn't mean I stopped watching, because I'm a sucker for this type of trashy shit. Following that romance, we have another romance! Look, this season was full of it and I couldn't resist. Dealing with the Mikadono sisters is a breeze, brings back the stark contrast between the male and female leads trope once more, with the Mikadono sisters being generational prodigies in their specific fields, shogi, karate, and theater. The contrast here is in Yu, the son of late legendary renowned actress Ayase Subaru, who just transferred to the school his mom went to. As it just so happens, one of his mom's longest benefactors offers him a place to live and start anew. That benefactor also happens to be the father of the Mikadono siblings, and seeing as how they're prodigies in some way, he surely has something to offer himself as the son of a legendary actress. Right?
Because I'm just as much a royal as you are.
What?
I'm short, dumb, and weak, and it's a royal pain.
Yikes, bro.
But here's the catch. They're into that. He might not have taken any talent from his mom, but he definitely has her face. Besides that, the last thing his mom wanted for him was to build and live a happy family life. But these sisters are having none of that, at least at first. Over time, he tries to repair the connection that those siblings lost and earn his spot in the house by supporting their goals. Obviously, this whole trope of making the male protag just a normal guy so that all the girls can stand out is pretty been there, done that, but I honestly don't think this series is like that. Yu is just so fucking wholesome all the time that it's even got the sisters baffled since, well, they got feelings for the guy. One of the better ones for this season for sure. Speaking of one of the better ones for this season, there's no freaking way I'll be your lover. Unless is also right up there. There's a good chance you know that one feeling. Middle school was so damn rough that you go into high school with a complete makeover, trying your best to actually fit in with other people and make friends. But in this case, what if you successfully failed that mission?
そう自覚した時気づいたんだ。君が好きだと。
Amaori Renako wanted to have a best friend at most, but now she's got this celebrity model vying to be her girlfriend, and at least a couple more. This girl does not know what's about to hit her. This show is way more than just Yuri baits. Man, all she's trying to do is have friends she can hang out and play games with, and instead she gets multiple wife candidates. Wait, this sounds familiar. Watanari might not be for everyone, and nowhere near the best there is when it comes to romance anime. But there's still plenty to see here with how they address their relationship boundaries, and more than that, it's fun to see what sort of batshit crazy positions Ranako is put into.
だいたいずっと言ってるよね。私恋人なんて無理って。欲しいのは友達なの。
Guys, I finally got around to it. It's as peak as everyone was saying. and I don't use that word lightly. Dandadan got a second season, and I did originally want to speedrun both seasons of this show to put it in this video since I hadn't seen it until now, but what ended up happening instead was me speedrunning it because I couldn't stop watching. Dandadan deserves a spot on the new generation Mount Rushmore of anime. No joke. So many different scenarios with a clear focus on the main characters' chemistry with one another, the absolute sick as fuck animation, great funny moments with just the right balance of badassery alongside it, all to tell a story of a guy trying to get his nutsack back. This series has no shortage of all the things that make an anime great, and what's more is that it doesn't waste your time on shit you won't care about. There's downtime, but it doesn't overstay its welcome, and you get right back on track with the main events. Okay, I'm not completely sure if this is just the honeymoon phase or not, but that's for future me to think about. But right now, Dandadan is fucking amazing! And that does it for my summer 2025 anime watch list. Let me know what you watched and your favorite of the season, right below the subscribe button. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you back for another upload. See ya.